Nice to see you guys again today for my fourth podcast episode. Now, before we start this episode that's going to be on pilot, I just want to tell you that the first thing I'm going to talk about might be inappropriate. So you can skip to later part of this video if you can. And I'm sorry, this isn't that inappropriate, but you still might want to skip it. Gen Z is an unreleased animated comedy TV series that was created by Hayden Black that featured the transgender actress Julie Ray Goldstein portraying the main character. A 2-minute promo was released onto YouTube on June 6, 2015, but the series itself wasn't released. Now, you probably didn't notice, but being transgender means that you change your gender through a surgery, and I don't want to explain all of the details, but you can please still listen. It's been the subject of controversy because it branded itself as the first anime comedy to star a transgender actress in a lead role. The latest known footage of an episode was featured on Long Beach Comic Expo that featured the episode The Cake is Alive with incomplete animation, labeled as episode 00. As of now, it will probably be handled by the studio Big Little Fix to speed up production. And the characters are Shona Summers, who used to be known as Greg before becoming a woman, played by Julie Ray Goldstein; Cameron Atwood, played by Kevin Richmond; Huey Ware, played by John Keating; Betsy Chan, played by Emily C. Chang; Taylor Adams, played by Jane Wielden; Miguel Jimenez, voiced by Marcella Tubert; Kevin, voiced by Hal Sparks; Father O'Brien, voiced by Richard Schiff; Natalie, voiced by Trace Lisette; Nikki voices Casey Mongillo; Shona's mom, voiced by Stephanie Bentley; Jeremy, voiced by Matthew Del Negro; Cameron's mom, voiced by Lydia Porto; and Quilliam, voiced by Hayden Black. The official website is up, and the premise given is, hey, welcome to Gen Z, an edgy animated comedy about young transgender woman who wants to be a stand-up comic and her online friends who move in together. It's friends meets Modern Family with a huge dollop of the young ones. The show's pilot will be released in 2016. Well, it's 2017 and the pilot was still not released. We don't know what's going to happen, but there's a lot of concept artwork available. And, whoops, I made a mistake. Shona's birth name was Alan and didn't receive surgery. Well, it's a bit confusing. I guess I just forgot. But, all we know is that it hasn't been released, the pilot, but even though this is a podcast, I'll show you the, character artwork. All we know is that there's a promo and all the characters, at least some of their personalities, introduced. There's also a Gen Z Doritos promo and the incomplete episode at the panel. The episode at the panel is available, but I'm sorry, I'm afraid the episode has not been found. I suppose there are more unreleased pilots, or maybe just unreleased TV series. Unreleased pilot? Well, let's... Wait, you probably, I found a pilot, but it's actually my favorite sitcom of all time. It's Full House! And when you look... Sorry, I get carried away. There are some unaired pilots, but I want to talk about the Full House pilot. And this, is the pilot, but what you probably didn't know is that in the pilot, Danny Tanner is played by John Posey. John Posey is an actor, and I don't know anything about him. Of course, he, probably, now listen, I don't know a lot about this pilot, but I'm able to find out, a bit about the series. Full House is a sitcom that ran from 1986 to 1990 something. And you see, this pilot lasted a long time, but eventually we found it. It's now available. I also viewed the intro and I thought, well, this is Full House with a cast member with Bob Saget missing. Next, we're going to talk about some Nickelodeon pilots. This one is for the Proud Family. Now, you're probably going to ask me, hey, that's a Disney Channel series. Are you saying Nickelodeon owned the pilot? Before Disney Channel picked it up as a series, it was pitched as 1998 as a Nickelodeon pilot. But fortunately, the pilot is real, but it was never aired. The animation style was slightly different. Dijonay's name was Dinquinita, but he changed the Disney series. Penny's hairstyle is different. Trudy's bangs are parted differently. The layout of the Pratts house is different. Everyone's eyes are different. Penny wears earrings. Oscar's hair is more black and his head is bigger. And Dinquinita has no bangs or ponytails longer. There are images available. I'll also show them, even though this is the podcast. Next is the unaired pilot of Roundhouse. It's a sketch comedy that's musical, and it debuted on Nickelodeon's programming block Snick in 1992. But in December 1991, 8 months prior to the premiere date, a pilot was produced at the Nickelodeon studios in Orlando, Florida, but it hasn't been shown to the public to this day. Mark David was replaced by an actor named Chris Dupure, and Dad's Easy Chair and the carts had different designs. And there's a sneak promo that I assume had the original designs of the characters. And unfortunately, I don't know a lot about this. Next up is a more famous instance. It's Drake and Josh. You see, in 2004, from 2008, Nickelodeon aired a sitcom called Drake and Josh. It is made by the same person who made iCarly, Sam and Cat, Victorious, and now Henry Danger, Dan Snyder. But in 2003, they produced a pilot, and there's a promo with clips of the unaired pilot. There's also a bunch of screenshots. The pilot was obscure until 2013 when the guy I mentioned earlier posted screenshots to his Dan Warp Twitter account. Supposedly, he also posted a video clip with Josh, his original dad, who's not played by Jonathan Goldstein. Instead, he's played by a different actor whose name is unknown currently. And there was also another instance of a famous pilot. Next up is the Gravity Falls unaired Pitts pilot. It's a cut down version of the first episode, Tourist Trapped. And a 43-second snippet and a few screenshots have surfaced, and a full outline that's similar to Tourist Trapped. And Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, finally released the pilot, so you can go see that pilot to see if it's your thing before you see the series. I know more unaired pilots, and well, there's so many more. But I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that this is all the time I have. So goodbye. I hope you subscribe.